Today we're 3D printing and assembling a bit of the Cyberpunk 2077 universe, and this is a computer game, and what we're going to be printing today is the Mandalorian Overture. But I'm doing something a little bit different here because I'm going to print this off in resin, which essentially means we should end up with something that is essentially flawless and does not look 3D printed. And if you want to make this yourself, you'll find a link in the description below. It's all free, and the original designer is 3D Workbench. And be noted that these files have been designed for PLA, so we'll be printing in resin today, which means there could be things that don't go perfectly. And my print went amazingly well with all the pieces coming out looking incredibly good, and the details being absolutely excellent. And of course, for the most part, you can't really tell that it's 3D printed. There is a little bit of layer lines, but once we add a coat of paint, all of that will pretty much disappear. And also, this is from the Cyberpunk 2077 universe, so reality-wise, they probably are 3D printing all of this stuff. And as you can see, I just took out a little bit of support that was hiding in the M, but yeah, looks really good. Now, there was a human bit of error here. So you'll see on the next part, this is supports inside part of the piece. So I used the auto arrange and then did supports. On the first print, there was no issues. And I thought, oh, that's great. So I went and printed the second lot and I did not pay attention enough, and there were supports going into their pieces when I used the auto placement. So I should have double checked, but that wasn't too bad. Thankfully, resin is quite easy to sand. But of course, be noted that resin is dangerous in its liquid form. It also gives off a toxic odor when it's liquid as well. And if you're sanding it, it's going to get into the air and you breathe it in. So make sure you're always wearing a mask when sanding this stuff. And as you can see, I sprayed everything up with just simple spray paint and it all looks really good. We do have one misaligned layer you can see in the print, but that's the only flaw throughout the whole lot. And just look how close all of that goes together beautifully. Now, these are the only bits you actually need to glue in this entire build. And that's something I love about this designer's work, who releases these files for free. So let's begin assembly. Now, you'll see the springs. I did print them in PLA because simply they were designed to be printed in PLA, so they have the right kind of resistance and all that, and I guess springiness. So printing them in resin would have not been a good idea, and they would need to be basically recalibrated for the resin material, and I don't know if it actually does have enough springiness to it. I'll also mention here, if you want to do the same build where you're going to do part of it in resin and the springs in PLA, I would make the width of the springs like a millimeter less, because once the entire casing, as we'll see by the end of this video, is put around them in the final piece, then it adds too much pressure to the outside. So if they were just thinner inside, that would mean they'd probably move perfectly fine. And it's essentially that big spring you see there, that's the one that I found seemed to bind up once we have completed it. So yeah, if it was just a bit thinner, maybe, but also I could be wrong. Maybe that's not actually what's binding up, because once it's fully assembled, it is hard to get a gauge of what's going on inside there. But as you can see, we're going ahead and installing all this stuff. It looks quite complicated, and I guess it is. It's designed so that indeed you can like pull things back and it'll lock into position, and then you pull and it works kind of cool, but obviously doesn't actually do anything at all in there. It's just purely for visuals, and it's very satisfying. I think it's awesome once it works, and we'll be able to see that mechanism move later. Next up, we've got the side that's going to be attached into it. And this, honestly, once we've got this done, we've got like maybe 70% of the most complicated parts out of the way, and the rest is pretty simple. And it's all about just sliding and pushing things together. Now, I use on this channel a hammer a lot. And with PLA, of course, you do have to watch and not hit too often and too hard, because you will break something. And I went kind of crazy on whacking these resin parts, because first of all, it's kind of curious how strong they were. What I did find, because we have one that breaks later, they don't break along layer lines like PLA will. They actually do break as if they're a solid object. And when they do break, you can see inside and there doesn't appear to be any layer lines outside, even though on the outside you can kind of get a sense of the layer lines, but inside they're like just solid. Now here's the mechanism in action, and it's the first and last time you're going to see it, unfortunately, and it's really cool. Now, of course, this is a toy that does absolutely nothing, but it looks great and it feels great, and it's a real pity that once we do put the whole thing together, it will bind up to the point of where it just doesn't quite, and I don't think there's any way to fix it. I did add oil and all that and just wasn't able to get it to loosen up, and maybe it is not the spring that I think it is that's actually causing it to bind up at the end of the day. Now, this is probably the most satisfying part of the build, putting these two pieces together, because They close with almost no gap between them. Like they look absolutely amazing. And the black piece actually does have a little bit of 3D printing layer lines on it, but in a way that kind of makes it look like it's some sort of dark wood, and it just looks great. And like I say, we're coming from the Cyberpunk universe of 2077, so it's quite possible that in the future, pretty much everything would be 3D printed. It might kind of look very similar to this. I'll also mention that the bigger parts here are hollow, with the rest of them being solid, and it was just due to the size and complexity of the shape where I decided to go hollow or not. And for most of them, they drained out beautifully, but there was a couple where I only put one drainage hole in, and I was like, that was kind of silly. I should have put two, as it was a lot easier, of course, to clean out when you have at least two holes to play with. But this was a water washable resin. It's about the first I've ever used of water washable, and it came out looking really good. It's supposed to be a kind of ABS style plastic that it looks like once you're done printing, and I think it pulls off that overall look. And as you can see here with stuff like this, how they go together so tightly, it is extremely satisfying to have printed this off. And it's made me change my mind on resin 3D printing, because I'm doing a lot of stuff in PLA, and PLA is just nice, it's forgiving, and if something goes wrong, it's very easy to reprint a part or stuff like that. But resin gives you the ability to go a bit more complex and a bit more difficult in overall design to print out. And I wasn't sure how a model like this was going to, to be a full project was going to end up being, and how hard it would end up being put together. Like here, I'm whacking that down way harder than I would normally do on a piece of PLA, and it's taking it. Somehow the paint is also taking it too, even though that's some cheap black spray paint. But yeah, look at how good all of that goes together. So I've got to say, I'm actually considering doing a lot more of these projects where I'll actually mix and match, where I'll actually print some pieces in resin and the other stuff in PLA, and then combine it together into a full model. And I wonder how good that'll look, because if the internals are all PLA, but the externals are the resin that looks sensational, it could end up being incredible to have fun with. Now this part, and it's tiny, is one of the reasons I love this 3D modeler for their work, and it's easily become one of my favorites at the moment. And that is like just how well that went together. Like sensational. That's also the piece that had the supports on it, and I had to sand off. And honestly, you can't tell. Like the sanding of this material is so easy, and it felt like it's hard to mess up. So yeah, cleaning up the parts, of course, a lot harder than PLA, but way easier to sand, because the layer lines in normal 3D printing you just can't get rid of, and sanding it's a pain in the ass. But with this, you don't have that issue. You can sand it to be beautifully smooth, and it's amazing. So yeah, now we're going ahead and essentially getting most of the main frame together, and again, whacking it with a hammer, pushing it all in, and it really is somehow all going together, even though this model was never made to be deliberately resin 3D printed anyway. And as you can see, the mechanism has given up the ghost now, which is a real pity. I think it's something to do with the big spring, but honestly, I can't be entirely sure. We then got this insert that goes in here that locks the whole back end of this thing together. And essentially, we've almost completed that. We got a few kind of cosmetic items to add on, and then after that, we'll be on the home straight. So we just have to whack this together. This is 3 different parts. I've put them all the same color, but you can totally do different colors here to make them like stand out and look a bit more visually interesting if you want. Of course, I'm going for a very simple black and silver aesthetic. Then we've got this piece in here. Did a few things wrong with this. So first of all, I think should have sanded it and cleaned it up so that I could easily get it in here without having to use the hammer. And the second thing is the holes. So there's 2 cavities, one each side, and I could never get them entirely cleaned out. So first of all, should have just made that a solid piece, would have been the smarter option. And if I'd sanded it, I could have placed it on rather than having to hammer it. And I think that would have been a better overall. And that's one of the only things I would do differently with this. But there we go. She's looking gorgeous. So let's go ahead and actually start putting this fully together. So we got this, we got a piece that goes in the top, and this is where we get our first break. So there we go. I did actually manage to break something. And thankfully, it's not a piece you see, so we're going to be fine with that. Next up is this. Now, this was difficult. So the part we're going to be inserting, it basically has a thinner piece, then it flares out. So the idea is you push it in and it locks into place essentially, because that flared part gets into a bigger place further inside. But with PLA, you've got a little bit of flexibility. You can go ahead and just kind of pressure it in and it'll go through, and the plastic kind of gives. But with the resin here, way tougher. So it was the same thing, still had the pressure in, but once it did go in, it was fine. But it was a lot more effort than it would have been doing it with PLA. And at first I thought it wasn't going to be able to spin. And then we're going to go ahead and add this in, and that allows us to put this through here. And of course, this can then rotate in and out. And I'll also say at this point, obviously with no glue being used, you can technically take this completely apart, but there is some bits that are so basically stuck together with pressure that I don't think you can. So next up is this. Now this is very, very, very difficult to put together. So you've got like 3 or 4 different bits. You've got a couple of like grooves. You've got a circle part that needs to go to our circle part. You've got a rectangle that needs to go to our rectangle. It's a pain in the ass. Also, the design of it means that, and it's not a downside to the design, but there's a problem with putting this piece in. This is the lock-in piece, and I hate this one because it's curved on the top, so we can't really hit it with a hammer too well. But also, if we do hit it with a hammer, all that happens is because of these end pieces sticking up, it'll cause it to bend in the middle, which results in it coming apart again. So this is like delicately giving it a little whack, getting it started, then putting this on. And also remember, of course, that locking piece goes on last. I did accidentally put it on earlier, but we're done. And this thing is like insane. This is the kind of thing I would expect to be able to buy on like eBay for like 300 to 500. Like that's my kind of price gauge of because of the quality. Because you can go buy like a PLA one that's probably maybe 200, but it wouldn't look nearly as good as this. Like this is too good. Now it's unfortunate the mechanism doesn't work. I would have to probably play around with that and try and really figure out what it is that's binding it. But otherwise, she's gorgeous. Like I say, it does not look 3D printed. I love it. And I'll also say it's not just the visuals. It's not just like replicating a prop from a computer game and having it look cool. It's the mechanics of how this designer puts the stuff together so that you don't need glue for most of it. It's crazy. Like this could have all been glued together and been simpler parts overall and just like easily slot into a glue and then you're done. But the fact that someone's put the time and effort in so that you can just slide it all together with these beautiful pressure fits is cool. Even though, of course, at some points that means you have a lot of like clamps and hammering and stuff to get it all together. But the end result is, of course, something that is great, but also kicks off my passion for this hobby of mine, and it's very much enjoyable. So I hope you subscribe, you like, and yeah, stick around because this channel sometimes gets 100 views per video and sometimes gets 1,000 views. So hopefully I'm just going to find a viewer base out there that enjoys the same stuff. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.